South Carolina trying for a third championship, and the regular season champion Tennessee also going for a third tournament title. Here's what's at stake. You'll note the 10 by South Carolina's name. They are the lowest seed to ever make it in the 27-year history of this tournament to the championship game. And for Tennessee, their proud tradition of winning, they are trying to end a 12-year drought and take home a tournament title. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Bogle Park here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Just a day away from Selection Sunday, and we are crowning a lot of champions, including one right here. Beth Mowins, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, and Holly Rowe. And we start out, Smitty, with the top seed. They're looking to sweep both the regular season and the tournament, and they are swinging some big bats led by Kiki Malloy.
Yeah, Kiki Malloy really is the engine that drives this train for Tennessee. She has been outstanding all year long. 23 home runs. That is the Division I leader. And why? Because she's got all that power from the right side. She can just totally get into a ball. She can spray it throughout the field, and she is just dynamic. The only athlete in Division I softball with over 20 home runs and over 30 stolen bases. She can fly, and she is just dynamic in every aspect of the game, ladies. And this Tennessee team, they've been resilient. They have scored a lot of runs via the home run, and they've also scored them with 2 outs.
Yeah, you think that's clutch. Well, how about the clutch on the side of the Gamecocks of South Carolina, trying to win a 4th game in 4 days? Jess, they have 3 wins by a run, and all of them coming in the 7th or 8th inning.
Oh, Beth, they love themselves some drama. They won the first 2 games going into extra innings, and you think of how they've done it, too. So many hitters throughout this lineup. Riley Blampied was the star going back against Texas A&M, the RBI single in extras to take the lead. Then against Georgia, it was Brooke Blankenship, another single to take the lead again in the 8th. But then Jordan Fabian, this was against Auburn in the semifinals to get him into the championship. Top of the 7th inning. You can see how fired up this team is. Fearless and comfortable. They don't score a ton of runs, but the runs in this tournament have mattered. They've come late.
And they make you wait. Look at that at the bottom there. Innings 1 through 6 in their games, 2 runs scored. Innings 7 and 8 in their games, 4 runs scored. Head coach for the Gamecocks, they are excited, Bev Smith and company, to be returning to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 4 years. Enjoying this 50th season of South Carolina softball. They won the very first SEC tournament back in 1997 under Joyce Compton, and Bev Smith trying to bring another one home. They also were champions in 2000. And on the other side, your SEC Coach of the Year, Karen Weekly, winning it for the 3rd time. And speaking of winning it for the 3rd time, they have SEC crowns in 2006 and 2011. And they are not going to go with Ashley Rogers, the ace of their staff. They're going to go with a hot hand, Peyton Gottschall, who came on in relief in the semifinals and threw 7 innings against Alabama to pick up the win. And she gets the call again to start today.
Yeah, she was stellar last night, and she gets the call again here today. And, you know, she moves the ball around, and that's really what it's all about. She's effective in the top of the zone. She's got a good rise ball, but it's really her ability to hit all quadrants. A screwball to make the zone larger. The curveball as well, so she'll go east and west. And look at that tight rotation on the curveball when she really paints the corner, puts that in the river, and gets that late sharp movement. She expands the zone, and that's when she can be just so tough to hit.
The white and orange for Tennessee, the All Blacks for South Carolina. We've had weather throughout the weekend, and of course today, just spectacular, sun splashed, and a bit on the warm side. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s throughout the game this afternoon. And it feels like temperature that'll touch 90, so the fans are out already for the fans. Jordan Fabian, the hero of last night's game with the 2-run home run to win it, leading things off. It was her first hit of the series. She was 0 for 9 with 7 strikeouts prior. And how exciting for her. She went to the NCAA tournament as a freshman, now getting to go back in her 5th year. Question is, where might they be? Probably not looking at a top 16 seed, so they will be a tough 2 seed going into somebody else's house.
I feel like that's going to be a theme this year.
And a punch out called strike 3 for Gottschall to start things off. 1 down.
Well, when she's on, she works from ahead, and she doesn't waste any time. 4 pitches to get this first strike out of the game, and this is the curveball. This is where she can expand the zone. She puts it at the knees. She runs it through the plate. Really nice pitch.
You're going to see a lot of emotion, too, from Peyton Gottschall, especially as she gets later into the game. She gets fired up, not afraid to show her emotions. In fact, that was the most impressed I was with her yesterday in the win, was late in those innings, just looking dialed in and determined.
Ferocious was the look on her face. And she was able to bring it home after Tennessee fell behind 4-0 in the first inning, and Gottschall had to come out of the bullpen to replace the freshman Carlin Pickens. We did talk to Karen Weekly before the game. Ashley Rogers is available, as is Carlin today, but she just felt that Gottschall was the way to go. And in for a strike to Zoe Leno. Ashley's kind of chilling. The grad student from Athens, Tennessee, who won their first game here in the quarterfinals against Florida through a complete game shutout a couple days ago. South Carolina Gamecocks 37-19 on the season. And that is launched. Back it goes, and off the wall, out and right. Leno looking for third, and she'll head that way. And a one-out triple for Zoe.
Smitty, you talked about the curveball, a pitch that Gottschall likes to expand the zone with, but against left-handed hitters, she doesn't expand it as much. She has to come back more over the plate, and you can see the front foot there of Leno kind of get closed, and then she drops the barrel. The one area for left-handed batters, that low and in, just misses a home run by maybe 3 feet, and turn it on, an easy stand-up triple.
Her first triple since the 3rd week of the season for Zoe, and now she's in scoring position quickly here for Riley Blampede. Out to Malloy, and that should be plenty deep. And South Carolina, a triple and a sacrifice fly. And how about this? The Gamecocks deciding to score early today.
It's been a good thing to score earlier in this tournament.
So Peyton Gottschall, who picked up the win yesterday through 7 innings of work, and the quick turnaround to come back this afternoon. And Leno and Blampede are able to lift the ball and get it into the outfield, and now Ashley Rogers has some company in the bullpen. And that is Carlin Pickens, who got roughed up in a start yesterday, but Tennessee falling behind early, just as they did in the semifinals to Alabama.
First 3 hitters for South Carolina swinging at the first pitch. I think part of the game plan was to be aggressive early, knowing that Gottschall likes to get ahead early, and those might be the best pitches you see.
Well, and for Riley Blampede, her 6th RBI in the last 5 games for Carolina, as Anaya Black steps in, the junior from Chauncey, Georgia. 271 on the season. Zeta Pooney giving chase. Is that a Dawn Staley jersey down there to the right? I am told the coach was coming to town. Could it be? Might it be? It is. Basketball coach Dawn Staley in the house, a huge softball fan. Gamecocks were back at the Final Four this year.
That is so awesome she's here, and I love the seat too. I mean, she is as close as you can be to that dugout.
She can encourage the on-deck hitter. Lisa Boyer, their assistant coach, also making the trip. She's down there as well.
Love it.
There's Dawn, seat number 1. Lisa in seat number 3.
She's got a foot in the dugout.
Is she taking swing videos right now so she can offer some advice?
Analyze.
Yeah. Two-two pitch.
South Carolina is aggressive. We've seen them swing at everything, especially that rise ball from Gottschall.
And Gottschall is around the zone.
Oh, yeah.
So she is a type of a pitcher that you can be aggressive with. You can also do and runs, so hit and runs, bunt and runs, because a lot of her pitches are not non-competitive or so far out of the zone, you're going to have to chase them.
Speaking of chase, second strikeout for Gottschall. Side is retired, but Zoe Leno scores on the Blampied sacked fly. The 2023 SEC Softball Tournament on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Coming in hot to your hometown. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Beautiful day, graduation weekend here at Arkansas, and we are into the bottom of the first in our SEC championship game. Lair Boutte moves up to the 4 spot after the grand slam in the first inning of the semifinal against Alabama. They hung on to win it 7-6 to advance. And that is a strong lineup for Tennessee, the regular season champs. And of course, it starts right at the top with All-American Kiki Malloy. Took over the top spot in the national home run chase yesterday. She gonna add another one here? No, not quite. One down. Lady Vols will be facing Bailey Bettenbaugh in the circle today. They like to start out with a pitcher and then bring in their ace off the bench, Donnie Gobourne. So it'll be up to Bailey to keep things close, to give Donnie a chance to perhaps make a difference in the later innings. She has come on in relief to take care of business in all 3 of their wins here, with starts for Bettenbaugh and Carson Oaks. And it's a South Carolina pitching staff that has held the opposition to 3 runs in 3 games as Zeta Pooney steps in. One of 2 players in the Tennessee lineup that started out their careers at Oklahoma and then transferred in. Zeta is a junior out of Carson, California. Zeta was 0 for 3 in the semis, but she was 3 for 3 in the quarterfinal win over Florida. The Volunteers coming in 43-8 on the season. And I think by all our accounts, they should be a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, have a chance to stay home the whole way on the road to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. And the Rogers bullpen is getting more intense, gang. After South Carolina jumped in front in the first.
I'm sure Tennessee is thinking that with the way Donnie Gobourne has thrown late in games, that they need to score early and they need to keep South Carolina off of the board.
Well, the plan is usually just one time through the lineup. It's been pretty predictable. Kind of seeing how Tennessee does these first couple innings.
This is by far the hottest, muggiest day of the tournament. The teams have been saved somewhat by overcast skies the first 4 days here. Here's Boo Gibson out of Santa Clarita, California. Numbers have taken a big jump this year. Not just the power, but the batting average. Over 100 points better than a year ago. Into shallow center and coming on and off the glove of Blampede. And the runners will be safe at second and third. And now an early threat for Tennessee.
Riley Blampede was actually in a great position. Great effort to go for this ball, but you're going to see she's almost going to over dive for this. So she gets a beautiful jump. Watch her dive and it hits above her glove. A lot of times it's just short, so she actually put herself in a position. Her glove just did not go to the right angle to the ball. Great effort, but cost a couple bases.
And off the side of the glove, too.
I think that's the hard part, too, against a team like Tennessee, who has some players that can hit for power. You know, you play a little bit deep, and then you get one off the end of the bat, and you find yourself having to truck in.
All right, so first inning yesterday, Lair Boutte grand slam. And now she's got 2 on for her first time up today. After the double by Boo Gibson. Clips the corner, 0-1. Lair out of Riverside, California. Of course, you go back to the early 2000s and the recruitment of Monica Abbott out of the state of California. Tennessee led the way in drawing the California recruits to the Southeastern Conference, and they have continued to go back there to mine some gold.
Lair is that batter in this lineup. Karen Weekly had told us when the tournament was starting, it was Boutte that they were like, we got to get going. And you look at great season numbers, especially with runners in scoring position, but had been struggling. And the difference was a base hit up the middle that started it, staying through the middle, which got her swing back. And of course, the big grand slam yesterday.
0-2 pitch.
They've been working her all upstairs.
If she can get the runs in here, they would be the first of this tournament with less than 2 outs for Tennessee. All 11 of their runs so far in their 2+ games have come with 2 outs. 9 of the 11 thanks to home run balls. They hit 3 out yesterday.
Yeah. See if they go back upstairs. They've been using that rise ball. Pitch prior was a changeup, so potentially trying to work that velo separation.
There it is. 2 down.
Bettenborough, you just saw her with the strikeout on the rise ball, and she has the ability to move the ball through the zone a lot of different ways, but it's her screwball that's really good with that rise ball combination. And look at the way she's going to get underneath that screwball, so it's got a little up and a lot of out against those lefties, and you can see the way she goes upstairs. The setup pitch for this was a changeup down in the dirt to elevate then the eyes on the rise ball and get the swing and miss for the second big out of the inning.
All right, so here's Riley West, the left fielder. Another Californian. She's 1 for 5 with a run scored here at the SEC tournament. Three right-handers in a row coming up. In fact, there's only 2 lefties in the batting order today for Tennessee, and that will get through. At least one is in. Karen Weekly will hold up Boo Gibson as Pooney scores. Even at 1 apiece. Just like they did yesterday in the semis, they respond immediately.
Early aggressive swinging. We're seeing that from both sides. Riley West does not waste a whole lot of time. Just gets a pitch up that she can handle. And again, it's not always getting it up and hitting it out, but just hitting it hard. Meets this past the diving Zoe Leno at third base. We're all tied up.
And so the trend continues. All 12 of their runs in the tournament with 2 outs.
They needed Boutte to get out. That's how they score the runs.
And now Donahue will try and get him the lead here. McKenzie is the other Oklahoma transfer. Batting .276. She's moved from the infield, outfield to the infield, playing shortstop. So look at that, the last 2 games. They were down 4 to Alabama yesterday and tied it up. Down a run today in the finals, tying it up. Donahue, high fly ball, Blampede back and under it, side retired, but the equalizer for the top seed, 1 complete in the SEC final.
Well, the Tennessee Lady Vols are having one of their best seasons in school history. 19 SEC wins has been historic for them. They've also got the best ERA in the SEC this season. Their staff has been totally complete. Not only that, they won the SEC regular season championship for the first time since 2007. But Karen Weekly will tell you it is because some of the leadership training they have done in the offseason. They have built chemistry. They have built team leadership. And one of the things that they are focusing on is working for others. One of their acronyms is family. Forget about me, I love you. The other thing they're focusing on is a Zulu word called Ubuntu, and it means I am because of you. You are because of me. And that team first, others-oriented philosophy is helping them win at a high level this season.
It sure is, Holly. Winning that regular season championship and now going for the sweep. It would be the 13th time that that has happened in SEC history, so half the time. What's working against the Lady Vols today is that just the chaos that this tournament has been year in and year out. The 1 seed has won the championship less than 50% of the time. And in fact, the winner today, regardless of who it is, will be the 7th different champion in the last decade. Arkansas, Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, Auburn, Georgia, and now one of these guys. It's been a free-for-all.
I love it, though. It makes it fun for us because
yes,
the predictability goes away. And I mean, yeah, you want the good teams to play well and do all of that, but it just shows you why you play the game.
Well, single elimination tournaments kind of give the parity back to the teams to the middle lower part of the conference, because you can throw your ace, you can throw your best in a 1-to-1 matchup, and you can run with anybody. Now, obviously in a series it's a little bit different, right, when you have to play 3 games over 3 days.
Oh yeah.
And it's also a tremendous springboard. 15 times in 25 years the winner of this tournament has reached the World Series once the NCAAs began.
I just think we're seeing a lot of offense today, and that makes me happy because everyone is swinging. There's been at least most of the games we've had. I know Tennessee, Alabama was different, but they've been close scoring. Not a lot of action till late.
Desiderio, Gonzalez, and Simpson coming up 5, 6, and 7 to face Peyton Gottschall. Fly ball to Riley West. 1 down. Interesting, too, on this very hot day, that the bullpen activity for Tennessee actually started before the first pitch and has been constant for Pickens and Rogers.
Pickens is
Oh,
down
that's
now.
not Pickens anymore either. That's Nicola Simpson. How much time would you like to spend in a, I mean, were you ever a reliever, Smitty? Everybody knows you as a starter.
I would. In the Pro League in Japan, a lot of times I would come in for some of our team members, and it is a science to how much time do you need to get warm without spending too much time in the bullpen and exhausting yourself out there. Usually you'll take somewhere around 50 pitches or so to get ready for a start. When you're coming in relief, you should be able to get ready within 20 to 25 pitches.
They will have 6 days off. The regionals won't be starting till next Friday. There's a couple of hopper to short, 2 down as Donahue's got it. Got Sunday Night Baseball coming your way tomorrow. We'll be in Boston, Fenway Park for the Sox and the Cardinals. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown will get you going at 6. First pitch at 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio.
Cardinals won yesterday, came back a few times, kind of like Tennessee keeps doing here in this tournament.
There's Haley Simpson. Fifth year out of Cumming, Georgia. Did not play the last 2 seasons. Haley was out with injury. And has been able to bounce back this season. I know you guys are big fans of youngsters who are 3-sport stars, but Haley also got in the pool and was a 4-sport star in high school.
Wow.
As a kid.
That's so cool.
So one to stay in shape for the one you really are going to get a scholarship, and the one you really love, and then the one just to stay cool.
But you don't know which ones those are always going to be.
Don't know which one it is yet.
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the sport chooses you. So play as many as you can.
That's right. I think all the different sports teach you different lessons too, right?
2-2. Full count.
It's one pitch that Gottschall throws so well to lefties is that curveball. Not afraid to come inside to lefties, and a lot of right-handed pitchers are not always comfortable throwing to this corner, and you can see she is not afraid to put that in the river and try to bend it around the left-handed batter's legs just a bit inside.
Haley's knees literally buckled.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's coming in there.
Well, and what's so important about that too is that obviously it's hard to hit, but it also then expands your screwball in the outer half, so you can just see that strike zone just widening, getting that chase percentage up.
And these South Carolina lefties like to crowd. They get their toes up on that line. And Haley is backed off.
Draws the walk.
And a rare walk
Yeah.
from Peyton Gottschall. Just going over more of her numbers before this game, and it's only her 15th walk of the season compared to 104 Ks.
Wow.
I mean, mind-blowing walk to strikeout ratio.
And like we were talking earlier, Jess, that's probably why South Carolina is so aggressive
Swinging.
early, because they know she doesn't throw a lot of balls. She doesn't walk a lot of people.
Good ratio for a pitcher, but also a cue to the hitter, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Deception is becoming more and more of an integral role for the pitchers, right? Because kids are starting, and young women are starting to catch up to the velocity.
Yeah, the velo doesn't mean much anymore. It's the movement, it's the change of speed. Now, if you have velo plus,
Oh, that's good, too.
Then the plus the movement, plus the deception, then
Everything's plus now.
then your money.
Plus.
Exactly.
ESPN plus. OPS plus.
That's right.
Medium rare plus.
That's kind of how I like my stuff.
And
Oh.
backhanded grab for Mackenzie Donahue. Making the play at short. One on, one left on.
The runner was going, Haley Simpson was going on the pitch, so Donahue actually got caught leaning and then reacted back to the right, which makes this play that much better, showing off the athleticism for her pitcher, Peyton Gottschall.
We thought you might appreciate a little color-coded home run display here at the SEC tournament. And they've been coming from just about everybody and going in just about every direction. Oh, double digits. Here's a few oranges coming.
I like the sound effects. I thought that was you for a second, Beth.
This is the total number of home runs hit in the tournament. Also happens to match Smitty's career total, but total coincidence. 17 home runs, accounting for nearly 40% of the runs scored.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Yep.
And we're not done.
Hey, and
We're not done.
we talked a lot about how many home runs would be hit at this tournament. Arkansas, the highest altitude of all of the SEC schools, so the ball flies a little bit better here than
You crack me up with
everywhere
your SEC altitude. What are we, 3 feet above sea level? here in Fayetteville?
No.
You know, we're in the mountains. It snowed yesterday. It's crazy.
Listen now, come on. Hey,
There's a hill right
see,
there.
look at it.
There
Look at
is a
that.
In
hill.
the midst of the hills.
exactly. See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's been a great weekend here in Fayetteville. Folks have been terrific. The crowds have been coming out, even though Arkansas did not make it to the finals this year. They won it all last year down in Gainesville. That berm is one of the best spots in all of college softball here at Bogle Park, and what
So good.
Courtney Deifel has been able to build. Kutsianopoulos leading things off, and the grounder to short, 1 down. Hey, Friday, the WNBA begins. Season number 27 is less than a week away, and it's the return of Brittany Griner for Phoenix. 11 Eastern on ESPN. They'll take on the Sparks and Neko Bumake. WNBA tip-off 23, and Holly Rowe will be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. We have that game in Phoenix at LA on Friday night, but then don't forget Brittany Griner's return to Phoenix on Sunday. We will also have that live for you, a 1-hour pregame show, all things Brittany Griner. And I've been there, going there 2 weeks now to get content for this, and I just know we're going to do a really nice job welcoming her back to the WNBA, but also honoring both the Chicago Sky and the Los Angeles Sparks, who will be playing against Phoenix.
New York and Las Vegas, the odds-on favorites this summer. Elevation, by the way, 1,378 feet here in
It's more than 3
Fayetteville.
that Beth predicted.
I got one of the
See?
numbers right.
It's definitely not sea level.
That looks like Everest. Here's Jamison Brockenbrough. And she is facing Bailey Bettenbaugh.
Say
You
that
guys
3
want to talk
times.
about these two
Yeah,
matchups?
exactly.
Fabulous. Jamison is the DP today. Out of Locust Grove, Georgia, the freshman has a hit in both of their games so far here in the tournament. This is the SEC championship game, and how about 3 games in a row? She's thinking extras. Takes a look at 3 and slams on the brakes. The double with 1 out for Brockenbrough.
One of the things that Jamison works on is that split grip. A lot of Tennessee hitters do this. It emphasizes her top hand. So you're going to see she's just got about 1.5 inches between her hands. And that's exactly what allows that top hand to get on top of this rise ball coming in from Bailey. A nice base hit that actually sneaks by center fielder Riley Blampede, turns into a double.
Go ahead run in scoring position for Tennessee. You know, the pitching for the Lady Vols has been strong all year long, and the hitting has really come around. A lot of folks stunned when Baylor went to Knoxville, right, and beat them twice. And since then, they hit the reset button at Tennessee, and the one word that they took to heart was attack. And they've been much more aggressive at the plate since. They've won 16 of their last 19 and have hit 28 home runs, and scoring in double digits in 5 of those games. And now this is a 3-pronged attack when you consider the defense, terrific range in the outfield.
Yeah, and because of that, Bettenbach, she came back with 2 changeups in a row and then underneath the hands to Taylor. So I think recognizing that Tennessee is coming out and attacking, as you mentioned, Beth.
Katie had the 2-run home run against Alabama yesterday. So their 9-hitter and their 1-hitter both went yard in the semis. Blampede, shallow center. 2 down. Let's talk Malloy.
Well, how do you get one of the best hitters out? Kiki Malloy. First of all, it's rarely going to happen. She's got a ton of power. You look on the left. This is against Alabama yesterday. They came low and in. That is the one cold spot for her. When you look at the multitude of hits on the right there, just got the ball up. They tried to go back low and in, but you see some of the cold zone is definitely, especially when you look at her bigger outs, it's going to be low and in. And this is probably why you just throw it way out, so she can't even touch it.
Yeah, or just do this, Walker.
Or way out.
Way out.
Yeah.
Other batter's box. But I also love, like, because it is such a challenge. We saw it with Skylar Wallace of Florida. When you get these just massively amazing hitters. I mean, Kiki Malloy is one of those that's just an outlier. The speed, you look at the batting average with the power, 23 home runs. That leads Division I. You have to know where not to throw her.
Well, and as they walk Kiki Malloy, Holly Rose got something for us. Holly?
Well, I think Kiki hit the parental lottery because we've talked a lot about her father, Lawyer Malloy, who was an NFL player. She gets a lot of that power and that build from her dad. But I'm giving Mom a shout out because Claudine, her mother, is absolutely where she gets her speed. Now they're putting her on the base pass, but watch out. You have to pick your poison with Kiki Malloy. Mom Claudine was a fantastic track athlete at the University of Washington where her parents met. Mom sent me this amazing picture of her hurdling today, and I just feel a lot of jealousy inside of me because she is such an incredible athlete. Mom and Dad both really passing on the very best to Kiki Malloy.
Well, and big sister Amira, who also played D1 college softball. Pitching change for Carolina. Back in a moment. All right, so a pitching change to Carson Oaks, and we see that Donnie Goldborn is already getting ready for her appearance to come later. That's the game plan from Bev Smith for the three-pronged pitching attack today. And the challenge is to make sure that Carolina keeps this close so the Goldborn innings later in the game are as meaningful as they have been the last 3 days when she has helped them preserve 3 straight one-run wins. And given their batters time to score in the 7th and 8th innings, that's when all their winners have come. Here's Zeta Pooney after the intentional walk put Kiki Malloy on base. So 2 on with 2 outs. Pooney is 3rd on the team in runs batted in. She's already walked and scored today. And will the trend continue? Against Florida, against Alabama, and already today against South Carolina, all 12 runs with 2 outs. Pooney and Blampede should track that down and does. So the intentional walk works for Carolina. Still even at 1 apiece to the 3rd. With Carolina softball in the SEC Championship, we thought we'd bring it back from last season. And the Gamecock women's basketball team in the national championship game against Connecticut. And it was another title for South Carolina and Dawn Staley. They would return to the Final Four again this year. And Holly's got a special guest.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dawn Staley, softball super fan, and I just think it's amazing that with your busy schedule, this is a priority for you. Why?
We're in a shutdown period, so we don't have to recruit or anything this week. We got one more day. But Beverly, she's a great friend of mine. We're neighbors. We walk. We talk about strategy. And I've, for the time that I've been at South Carolina, I've been very fond of our softball team.
I think it's important, too, that softball coaches, basketball coaches, teams at universities setting the standard of excellence for each other, and you've done that with what you're doing in basketball. How do you think that example that you and your team is setting for other teams on campus?
Well, I think it comes from the top. You know, yesterday when I was watching the game, I text our AD and hope you're feeling better, boss man. I texted him, I said, if we win this game, we need a school plane to get down to Arkansas to support our softball team. He was like, sounds like a plan. And we're here. So I think it comes from the top down. Our president is always at our games. He was at the Final Four. So I think it's cool that we're able to support each other, because it's really a small world when you're on campus. You're all trying to do the same things, and we know sometimes that's not possible, but we want to support each other to the top.
All right, I know you are Donnie Gobern's biggest fan. We are likely to see her in later innings. What stands out about Donnie Goburn, and why do you love her so much?
And Donnie's a badass. Like on the mound, you see her, and I was surprised to see her. The Denver from Auburn, the third baseman yesterday. They banter with each other, but I'm like, okay, Donnie, don't fall into that. We need you to focus. So she laughed and she smiled, and then she got right back to her normal self and sent Denver back to the dugout. We call her Dugout Donnie for a reason, and hopefully when she gets into the game, we can keep it close enough that Donnie will bring it on home for us.
All right, well, Beth Mowins, I hate to be the one to tell you, but Dawn Staley might be about coming for your job, because that's about the best play-by-play.
I love it, though.
Well,
I love it.
well, tell Dawn we're about to show the badass. Dawn's words, not mine.
Okay, I'll let her know, but thank
she's
you,
getting
Coach.
ready in the bullpen.
Tell her Donnie's coming up.
Wow, awesome.
I don't think there's enough money that we could pay Dawn that South Carolina would let her leave the bench for the basketball team to start her broadcasting career just yet.
Job security, job security.
And there is Donnie Goburn. And this is her pre-pitching routine. Out in the bullpen. I think we've seen her, around the 5th inning of previous game?
4th or 5th.
4th or 5th, yeah.
Yep. I think a lot of times it depends on second, third, 4th time through the lineup.
Yeah, I think we'll see her 3rd time to the lineup.
Agreed.
Kiki Malloy's got it, 1 down. Yeah, Donnie so far in the tournament, 13.2 innings, 6 hits, 20 strikeouts, 0 runs allowed. Opponents are hitting just a .133. And she is, if she comes on, she will be throwing over 250 pitches in the 4-day stretch.
Yeah, her whiff rates are just amazing, almost 40% on a rise.
Runner goes to throw down, plenty of time. Donahue was waiting for her to show up. 2 down.
Love this. Koutsianopoulos behind the dish is left-handed, and she just guns this ball down to Donahue, who is in the perfect position. So look at how quick she's going to get rid of this ball. She's perfect position, really good pop time, gets it down, tag made, out.
And we haven't seen a lot of base runners thrown out. We've seen a lot of stolen bases. Haven't seen that happen, especially by that much. Julia, first-time catcher, had not been a catcher until she came over to Tennessee and transferring. And Carolyn Weekly talked about her leadership in her hands and said, we got to figure out a way to get you involved in every single play.
Well,
she's also that rare left-handed player that hits right-handed. I mean, you never see the reverse of that. Left-handed catchers that are already pretty rare, but she hits right-handed.
Yeah.
Kind of reverse of what you would normally see.
3-0 pitch. In for a strike to Zoe Leno. Zoe tripled and scored the Carolina run back in the first. They led it 1-0. And Tennessee tied it up in the bottom of the inning on the Riley West RBI single.
And Koutsianopoulos is decent size, right? But look at the way that she works behind the dish. And this is important for a pitcher, right? Because she really gives a good look to the umpire to be able to see that low zone. So she sets low, she receives very well low, and then on a rise ball, she's still able to go up and get that without blocking the umpire. And that's a big deal at times in order to get calls for your pitchers.
Opposite way, West. Side retired. Bottom of the 3rd coming up in our SEC final. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. And how about a list of some of the tickets that we are punching already? Selection Sunday is tomorrow. 2 hours of coverage for you on ESPN2. We'll reveal the bracket starting at 7 Eastern. And you see on that list the Oklahoma Sooners. I believe that is the 43rd win in a row. The all-time record is 47 straight wins, held by Arizona in the mid-90s. And so the Sooners, I don't think anyone would be shocked if tomorrow night we unveil the bracket and they are the #1 seed. Florida State also a winner. They walked off Duke in the ACC final. I would think along with this Tennessee team and UCLA out of the Pac-12, those are probably going to be your top 4. Every single season, that would be 17 years in a row since this format change in 2005. The SEC has had at least one top 5 seed. As of right now, they don't have anyone in the top 5 RPI, so we'll see what the committee says tomorrow night.
Oh, I love seeing how far Boo Gibson is off the plate, and she does such a good job of letting that ball travel. Sprays the ball middle, right.
Yeah, she has more percentages of ball in play to right field as a right-handed batter. With power, too.
Yes.
Authority.
And when you're pitching against someone like that, it's really hard to fool them because they see the ball longer, right? So they look at rotation, they can pick up movement.
Yeah, because a lot of the hits I've seen her pull have been off speed that she can still drive because she's trying to be late.
Yep.
Gibson sends it the opposite way. Base hit to open up the bottom of the 3rd. Let's revisit Lair Boutte and the sweet swing from yesterday with the bases loaded.
I love the adjustments she made within this game, too, because she was able to, first of all, get a hit earlier. She was a little bit behind the ball, and then to just make sure that she was talking about letting the ball travel. Huge in the bottom of the 1st inning in response to the 4 runs that Alabama put up.
Let's check in right now with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, I was talking with Lair Boutte's mom after her grand slam last night, and she said her daughter's full name is Lair Dussault, which is a South Louisiana kind of Cajun name. Family is from Louisiana, Cajun country. Boutte would kind of give you that signal, but the name is a very special meaning. It is the chosen one, or the special one. So mom was just full of energy and so excited after her daughter hit that grand slam last night. She knew that she is the chosen one, the special one. Mom's been flying out for every game from California, really sacrificing to be here for her daughter every weekend, and really cool family story. Mom, thanks for being here and all the sacrifices you and your family are making to support your daughter.
This Mother's Day weekend. I love Holly, by the way. We've been able to talk about a lot of the moms. You mentioned Kiki Malloy's mom as well. And sacrifice from parents, but there are a ton of moms in the stadium throughout the entire week. Where else would we want to be on Mother's Day, right?
That's right.
Yes. Mom, I just want one more ice cream. Just one more. It's hot.
Boutte out to left. Gonzalez has it. 1 down. Well, the inaugural XFL Championship game is coming up later tonight from San Antonio. It's the Arlington Renegades and the DC Defenders. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Great day for the family out at the ballpark, trying to stay cool.
Cute.
A lot of moms, a lot of young girls, softballers. We saw a ton of teams last night. That's what's so cool about these tournaments too, is you can kind of commit to a few days. Just let's go hang out, watch some ball.
Riley West, the grounder to short. It eats up Blankenship. 2 on with 1 out.
Oh, and after South Carolina had the best fielding in the SEC coming into this tournament. 3 errors yesterday against Auburn, and then Blankenship on this ball is just going to back up. Instead of going and getting it, look at the way she's going to back up on this. You need to go get that. That's a slow developing play anyway. There was going to be no opportunity to get Susan, the pinch runner, at second. She would have had to go all the way to first. So I'm going to rule that an error. E6.
That'll bring Bev Smith out of the dugout.
Like 3 errors for Blankenship all season. I mean, she has been ridiculous. Beth, you talked about the numbers.
She's doing the chicken dance while she's
and
warming up.
And now 3 errors here in the tournament.
Yeah, she's tied her season total.
Yeah.
I mean, Donnie's really stressed right now.
I'm telling you, she's doing the
Chicken dance
format.
mid-stride.
Exactly.
From Lake Placid, Florida, she started out in JUCO, then went to Florida Atlantic before arriving here at South Carolina.
There we go. Break it down for us, Tennessee. Oh, they changed the song.
So far here in the SEC tournament, they've been pretty darn good with runners on base and runners in scoring position, even limiting the chances that runners have been in scoring position. And the close wins over A&M, Georgia, and Auburn. And keeping it close so far against the top seed, although Tennessee has 2 on with 1 out for Mackenzie Donahue. Flew out to center her first time up.
Just looking for her first hit in this tournament. Her bat has been the quietest.
0 for 6. Blankenship will keep it in the infield, and that's it. Then the throw gets away. Tennessee, though, will not advance runners, and the bases are loaded. And I think Karen Wheatley is talking to Masusin, the pinch runner there, say, hey, we got a score on that one. And she lost track of the ball.
Yeah, as soon as she go off of the wall. Well, first off, Blankenship goes down and throw not even close to Leno. And then as soon as it goes and starts to roll the wall, I think that's where Coach was saying, you got to go, you got to go.
Bases loaded for Julia Koutsoyanopoulos. One for 7 so far in the tournament for the transfer from Arizona. She's got World Series experience. Went there a couple of times with the Wildcats. That's something to watch, by the way, on the selection show tomorrow. 35 years in a row for Arizona and 28 years in a row for Michigan in the postseason, and they are both squarely on the bubble.
Yeah, it'll be a bizarre postseason if they're not in it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those 2
Right?
teams, classics, and think about Carol Hutchins, and the newly named stadium after her, after her retirement. Mike Candrea.
Yep.
Caitlin Lowe taking over the program, took over the World Series her first year last year as head coach, but those are staples in the postseason.
That's going to be a great Pac-12 final later today. UCLA, I think, will probably be the 2 seed, but Utah sneaking right into that host bubble conversation. They might be a top 16 seed.
They've had a good year.
Just about everybody's got some blemishes. It's going to be fascinating to see how the committee breaks it down. Blankenship headed for home, and they will get the force out. 2 down. As Beth Smith tries to work out of this jam, Holly will talk with her next half inning. So the conservative base run in there by Masusin and not being able to get home to score on that wild throw cost them there. And then the flare picks them up. That's a fair ball. 1 is in, 2 are in for Tennessee. A 2-run double for Brackenbrough.
They had to wait until they got 2 outs. I mean, pretty much that's kind of how this team's rolled all tournament long. And it's not about necessarily the hardest hits, but you look for Jamison in this situation. She just gets her hands inside this inside pitch and finds grass. It's like a golf shot. That perfect onto the putting green, out into left field. Scoring 2 for Tennessee.
Freshman coming up big for Tennessee.
Well, the inning was kept alive by the error at short. They've got a chance to pick up a couple more. Here's Katie Taylor. And is it time to bring her in, or has that time perhaps passed?
I really believe they wait for the top of the order. It has been almost methodical the way South Carolina has done that. They do their pitching changes when literally the 3rd time through the order happens. There's Kiki Maloney on deck.
That would be one more batter, Katie Taylor.
Yep.
However, Katie Taylor has shown some home run power.
In the series, Gobourne through 9 innings in those 3 games.
Boy, it's such a tightrope walk for coaches. We've seen it all tournament long. When do you pull somebody and bring somebody else in?
Saw a big one, Stanford UCLA last night in the
Yeah.
semifinals. Nyjah Kennedy just dealing against the #2 team in the country, and Lee Novato came in.
Took her out and they lost.
But I think
long
that's
time in the dugout for Gottschall for Tennessee as well.
it's a new part of the game is the staff. And I think now we're seeing those adjustments of how do you use a staff? Because forever the game was, we got one. We're just gonna ride her out. And now you have more than that.
Taylor, swing and a miss. And Oaks limits the damage, but a couple in for the top seed, and they lead it 3-1. Regular season champs looking to complete the sweep of the Southeastern Conference.
The 2023 SEC Softball Tournament on the SEC Network and ESPN is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Here with South Carolina coach Bev Smith. And coach, your defense has been rock solid all season long. So after an error like that, I see you go out and have a conference with everybody. What was the message in that moment?
Well, just about resetting. You know, Brooke Blankenship's going to have an opportunity to make a big play for us, and she's been solid all season. So we'll recover here. We're going to have Donnie Gobourne coming in, and we just got to make some things happen for us on the offensive side.
Your offense has been coming late in games. How important is it that it came early today and get those bats going?
Well, I think you need it. You need it against this Tennessee offense. But I do like our kids are going to swing with confidence all the way through 7.
How cool is it you get your celebrity coach, Don Staley, here supporting you?
I tell you, it's awesome. And it's special that we get to have that kind of support and friendship for her. It's special to me as well.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
And I think Dawn's going to be thrilled if my ears do not mistake me. She said Donnie Gobourne's coming in. Woo-hoo. So next half inning for the Gamecocks. There she is, catching her breath. It will be the 4th day in a row for her to come out of that bullpen and try and win one for South Carolina, but the Bats have to get going first. They find themselves trailing now by 2 after that 2-run bottom of the 3rd for the Lady Vols. 3, 4, and 6 coming up here in the 4th. We are just over 24 hours away now from the unveiling of the tournament bracket. 2 hours of coverage for you tomorrow night in prime time, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. 1 hour looking at the bracket, and then an hour of the 7 innings after party where we'll take a deeper dive with you. Well, I bet we'll be talking about these two clubs a little bit.
Yeah.
What an amazing postseason for the 10 seed South Carolina, trying for a 4th upset win. They've already taken out the 2 and the 3 seeds and now tussling with number 1. Slow roller to Boutte, 1 away. And if you're a fan of SEC softball, you're probably thinking about Caitlin Lee and what Ole Miss did in 2017. The only school to win 4 games in 4 days, came out of nowhere as the 8th seed to win the SEC tournament. Caitlin Lee threw every pitch, 444 of them in 28 innings, and gave up just 3 runs. That great Ole Miss team with Kylan Becker and Elantra Cox, Miranda Struther. They jumped about 10 spots in the RPI and actually grabbed a seed that year. We'll see what happens here with South Carolina. They would have a lot of ground to make up to be able to host, but you never know. They do consider what you've done lately as a piece of criteria.
If they can come back and win this game, though, Beth, I mean, that is a statement. Which is why so many conferences have the tournament. As much as the regular season championship is for sure something, this is definitely even more powerful when you're looking at who is going to be successful in the postseason.
I think we are, I think I speak for you guys, we're big fans of what you do against the other top 25 teams. I want to know who you can beat. To me, that carries more weight than if I slip up midweek against somebody, okay. But if I'm constantly beating, if I got like 14 top 25 wins for Tennessee, okay, I know you're really good.
Do you weigh the losses against top 25 teams? Because those can be a midweek, not throwing your best.
Well, by midweek, I mean non-conference.
I think bad losses are worse than
bad loss.
Good loss.
Over 100 RPI loss, that's considered a bad loss, yes. Yes. And there are several teams that will have to deal with that. Boutte staying low to the ground with the glove.
That is a great play. There, Boutte going a long way up the middle to grab that.
Make Mama proud.
Off the bat, that looked like it was going to be a base hit. Back up the middle, but Lair Boutte so quick to get there. Great backhand. Immediately he's going to drive off this backside. Look at the way she gets that backside down, so that right leg down so that she can throw across her body a bullet over to Boo Gibson. Great defensive play, and that's one of the things that helps Goshaw so much. She rolls a lot of ground balls. She induces the fly balls, a couple strikeouts, but it's that ability to roll some ground balls and have that defense behind her.
Just to finish up what you were talking about, if you have a lot of top 25 losses and not many top 25 wins, yes. I don't want to give teams, it's nice if you play a tough schedule, but you still have to beat a lot of those teams on that schedule. Like Louisiana will be a fascinating conversation in the committee room because their RPI is really high, but they're, I believe, 2-9 against top 25 foes. They did win their league championship today.
It's almost like there should be a whole show on this.
It's kind of like we need 2 hours to talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
Julia Desiderio, 0-2, 2 outs, fouls one off. Peppers the bullpen. Hey, tomorrow the Rally Cap crew will be breaking down the SEC softball tournament. Caleb Rowe will be with the Rally Cappers. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, over on the SEC Network and your ESPN app. We're excited not only for the selection show tomorrow, but we're going to be in the studio for the regional weekend. Be able to jump back and forth from game to game, get you up on all the latest. Maybe a demo or two from our Olympic gold medalists.
Some props. Always got to have props on that show.
Always.
Start to lose your mind. It's like a 12 to 14-hour show every day. Seems like doing a triple header.
Oh, we're going to need some of that. Desiderio, this one could be playable. And it is up against the wall in foul territory for Riley West. A 1-2-3 inning.
Coming up next inning, it's going to be Kiki Malloy, the D1 leader in home runs, 23 on the year. Kiki Malloy, one of the most dynamic hitters in the country. Can she go yard? Stay around to find out.
You are watching. You are watching the SEC on ESPN, here with the SEC Coach of the Year, Karen Weekly from Tennessee. And Coach, you went with Peyton Gottschall today in the circle. What were some of the factors you considered? She's done a nice job so far.
She has. I thought she pitched pretty well against them last week. And last night, I just loved the way she rose to the occasion.
She was fiery out there, right?
Oh, yeah. When Peyton gets that heavy metal music going and the headbanging starts happening, we know she's on and the team loves it.
Quickly, Kiki Malloy on deck here. Tell me what is making her so special this season.
Her leadership. All you got to do is watch our team. We come into huddles. I just let her have it. And she's taken over, and they're a player-led team. And man, I'm just glad she's on our side. Kiki Malloy makes things happen.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Player-led team. Kiki Malloy leads. One of their biggest examples, I talked about that split grip. Chris Malveaux, their hitting coach, said the biggest thing with this, to stay inside the ball in the bat path. So watch her stay inside and look at that bat path. You're talking from hands to contact, just a short, nice, compact swing. I mean, she is the example of all examples in her swing. And it starts with that slight grip she has on the bat.
Oh, and it's a showdown right now with Danny Goburn. Will they pitch to Kiki? An intentional walker last time up. Malloy has reached in 20 straight and homered in her last 4 games. But Goburn has been the shutdown performer of this SEC tournament.
Back-to-back changeups.
Kiki's walking away.
She took about 10 feet outside the box. Like, are you kidding me right now?
First pitch changeup was a ball. This one she throws right down the gut and gets Kiki to swing through it.
1-1, Malloy. Beat her on that pitch. The gap out in left center, and Kiki racing around to second. Lead-off double here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, he showed her last about the areas that you cannot throw her, and that's pretty much all over the place. The only spot you can kind of get her out is low and in, and they go up and away. And this allows her to be able to get extended. That bat path we just showed, a beautiful job. Kiki Malloy leading off with double.
It's now reached in 21 straight games. 2 for 3 with a home run, a double on the season against Donnie. Tennessee took 2 of 3 from South Carolina to close the regular season. That last game, they had already clinched the regular season title. Donnie did get the win in relief in that last game. Lady Vols on the year. They won the Alabama series. They swept Florida, LSU, Kentucky. Their RPI is 11. Their top 25, or check that, their RPI went up to 9. Their top 25 record is 14-5. Pooney, foul pop up. Caught by Leno, 1 down.
Now,
Kind of bring up Boo Gibson. And a reminder that Donnie Goburn so far in 14 innings here at the SEC tournament has not allowed a run. Tennessee threatening to break up that stretch here. Lady Vols batting .300 today with a runner in scoring position. Got a run up in the first, added 2 more in the third. With Riley West and Jamison Brockenbrough driving them in.
Good job by Desiderio behind the dish to keep that changeup in front. She's been working hard back there. You can see when it's going to be a rise ball, she's got to really get up, make sure that she can catch that pitch.
Yeah, there's times she jumps a little much where I'm thinking a batter might pick that up because she'll jump a little higher into her stance, getting ready for that rise ball.
In for a strike, 3-1.
Good look at Desiderio. She played for the Clearwater Bombers. Grew up in the Clearwater area.
Ball 4.
Donnie Gobourn has just been powerful this year and in this tournament, and the reason why is because she's got that rise ball at the top of the zone over 70 miles an hour. She'll also throw heat low and inside. She'll touch 70 on that, but it's the changeup at 56 miles an hour, a pitch she just learned this year from Bev Smith. That really has been the difference maker. She can throw that in any count, but the fact that she keeps it low through the zone, she gets a lot of whiff on it.
Smitty, what does it say about Donnie Gobourn that she can learn a changeup pretty much mid-season, early season, and do it as effectively as she has?
For a pitcher that is as explosive as her, it's actually incredible, because a lot of times an explosive pitcher like that, when you're throwing over 70 miles an hour, it's hard to figure it out. It's hard to take something off it.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, I talked to Karen Weekly about facing Donnie Gobourn in the box, and she said, you know, she can really widen out the zone and kind of be effectively wild in a sense, and so they want to be super selective. They want to be aggressive, but they're going to lay off stuff unless it's really in the zone. You see the walk there. That's part of the approach of Tennessee at the plate right now against Gobourn.
And to your point, Holly, it's difficult to do, though, because of that. The whiff rate that she has on the rise ball, almost 40%. How about the whiff rate on her changeup in this tournament has been over 63%. This is a rise ball low on the outer half, and she just gets Lair Boutte to swing through this really good rise ball, well located, but the whiff rate on both those pitches has been outstanding, and that's the one. 63% on that changeup, 10 swing and misses in this tournament. That pitch has been a difference maker for her.
Well, here's Riley West. RBI single in the first for Riley, reached on an error and scored in the third.
Yeah, I feel like trying to approach Donnie Gobourn like you're going to be able to really hit any of her pitches is difficult, but the one weakness that she has is the walks, to Holly's point. That was the 8th walk to Boo Gibson of this tournament in just the 13 innings that she's pitched.
It's almost that effectively wild that we see some pitchers, right? You don't really know where the ball's going to be.
That was with Denver Bryant in the Auburn game.
Denver lost her bat trying to back out of the way.
It was a good back and forth. To Denver's credit, next time up, Denver did get a hit.
Did get the hit.
After Gobourn got her the first time. Auburn's another one of those teams with Florida that would be on that host bubble as a top 16 seed. Baylor, Oregon, maybe Wichita State, although they lost in their tournament. Those are the other RPI teams, right around 16 to 20-ish. We'll see what happens with regular season Big Ten champ Northwestern. They were trailing at last check in the Big Ten championship game to Indiana. and Taryn Kern. Strike out for Donnie, back-to-back to end the threat after the Malloy double started things off. Dawn Staley cheering it on.
Donnie, go, go, go. Byrne is just using that low rise ball. She has been on fire here at this SEC tournament. Boom, popping the glove.
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN and a busy championship Saturday around the country. Oklahoma 43 wins in a row, and they sweep the Big 12 regular season and tournament. Florida State also a sweep. They walk off Duke in the ACC final, and the Rayjon Cajun getting it done. They outlast Marshall 1-0. That is their 4th straight Sun Belt crown. Some of the highlights as teams continue their ticket punching nationwide. Selection show is tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. We'll punch another ticket here in Fayetteville, Bogle Park, Tennessee, with the 3-1 lead over Carolina as we head to the 5th. The 1 seed and the 10 seed, the Gamecocks trying to become the lowest seeded team to ever win it. And take home that trophy for the first time in 23 years. Beth Mullins along with Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, and Holly Rowe on a balmy Saturday afternoon. Marissa Gonzalez here at 6, 7, and 8 to face Peyton Gottschall. Has allowed just the 1 run back in the 1st inning, and that's been it. Only a couple of base runners since, and the fly out here to Katie Taylor, 1 down. Let's see who else has joined us in the postseason. Harvard is in. Congratulations to them, as well as North Carolina Central. So Harvard beats Princeton for the Ivy crown. Okay. Southern Illinois has joined the party. Boston University out of the Patriot League, a 50-win season.
It's impressive.
Here's Haley Simpson. Check that, the pinch hitter here is Jen Cummings.
Gottschall continues to use that curve ball, inside, outside, that low rise ball. Those 2 pitches are the lion's share of her pitches this afternoon. Ooh, I need one of those.
That's like around your neck, dual fans.
Double barreled.
Holly's gonna have that on our next interview. It's awesome.
Oh, there's one.
That's where you begin.
She's a rookie.
But that one's got the water
That's
in it.
a mister.
See, you know, that's
Oh,
a mister.
Yeah.
Those are all over the amusement parks. Spray fan.
82% humidity.
2-2 pitch. Cummings gets a hold of it. Back to the track and up against the wall for West. Hanging on, 2 down.
The way that Riley West went to go get this ball, she made it actually look easy, and it is not. The read that she had on this to be able to go full speed, the drop step to create the angle to get to this, and then the wall. Knowing that it was coming, you see so many outfielders pull up early, hooking up her pitcher, who doesn't get a lot of swing and miss, so she relies on her defense like that.
I'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Emma Sellers. Tonight on ESPN, as well as the app, we've got Game 6 Western Conference semifinals, the Stars and the Kraken. Dallas leads at 3-2. Pre-game coverage starts at 7 Eastern. The road to the Cup rolls on.
Let's go Kraken. Not bad. New franchise. Got some cool Kraken gear.
That is a fabulous logo.
Best name.
I mean, between them and the Las Vegas Knights, another
Yeah.
great logo. A couple of the recent additions.
And how successful they've been.
It's great to see, too, on the women's side, the Pro Soccer League continues to expand. There's talk that the WNBA will expand, and hopefully softball will continue to grow and grow in the professional ranks as well. WNBA's actually got the exhibition up in Canada today, playing in Toronto.
Nice.
Emma Sellers lined out to short her first time up. Good play by Mackenzie Donahue to dive to get it.
You always think you're going to catch them. They're not close.
No, I knew that. I wasn't going to catch up. Well, did you see the one earlier? It hit the windows down the press box from us. Almost got in an open window. Yeah.
Yeah, Beth's always like, I got it. It's right. Oh, it's way over there. Okay.
That one landed a few rows below us.
It's a good take. Nice rise ball at the top of the zone. Sellers doesn't bite.
7 in a row now retired by Gottschall since the Blankenship single back in the third.
Boy, Gottschall's really been good at hitting all quadrants and not being predictable. When she throws to that outer corner with that curveball up, she has come low and inside to righties. She's used up and in to righties. That last pitch inside. We'll see if she now tries to run that curveball away from Sellers. Goes back inside.
And that'll be a foul ball.
Cool. Crushed. Just another strike. What do you think of Gottschall's off speed?
Well, she hasn't used it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised, actually.
This would be a good time.
Would be a very good time.
That's the one thing, because I love that she goes left and right. She can go up in the zone, but the velocity difference.
Oh, that was the curve.
Thought she had that one painted. Full count. Back up the middle. And Emma Sellers with a good at-bat. And a two-out base runner. And that will get the tying run to the plate for Carolina.
Just a great at bat, too. You saw all the foul balls to get to this point. As much as you can go in and out, at some point you're going to miss middle. And Emma Sellers just works the count until she finally gets the pitch. She can drive right up the middle.
That was a 9-pitch at-bat for Emma to get aboard.
Staley, she's got a bat.
She got a bat, too.
You can get those made here, like with your name on them and stuff. I'm like a little kid, like roaming the stadium.
Look, she's taking warm-up
Yep,
since, too.
she's a righty. So is Brooke Blankenship, who singled her last time up. Brooke had a big RBI against Georgia in
See,
that
they got
upset.
their name. They're engraved. See, oh,
They got the T-shirts too.
they're having a day. Those are the ones we were asking for ice cream earlier, I think.
So cute.
Oh my gosh, look at that. They're even putting tape on the handle for you.
You can pick the color tape.
Match your team, yeah. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, Guys, you were talking about it a little bit earlier about Julie Koutsoulianopoulos moving to catcher after just a brief couple of days in the outfield. Karen Weekly was like, I need her touching the ball every time, not just 2 times a game. But one of the reasons she said that is the feel. She has such a good feel for what, when, where the ball needs to go, how to even go out and talk to the pitchers in the circle. And she said her instincts for the game, her feel for softball, I knew she needed to be behind the dish and helping it. She said it was a crazy conversation when I first brought it up, but now here she is, and she's doing great back there.
I love it. There have been quite a few left-handed catchers. You played with one, Jenny Topping. I played with one, Michelle Venturella.
I love it. This whole stigma that you can't
And when
be
I say
a left-handed catcher.
played with one, I meant as Olympic
Yeah.
teammates,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Beth, did you play him, Penny?
Not in the Olympics, you sons of... there's literally no room left for me in the booth. Only righties for me behind the dish.
Blankenship with that huge hit in this tournament. Take the lead in the 8th inning back against Georgia. That's what I've liked about South Carolina. They're scrappy. And those are the teams that when you get in the postseason, you worry about. And for South Carolina, they don't have that Kiki Malloy, right? That one, don't pitch to her.
Right.
Their production has come from Fabian, their leadoff hitter, Lampine, who's 3, and Blankenship, who's their 9-hole hitter.
Been somebody different every day. Who's it going to be today? It's just outside the bag. Of course, we've talked a lot about how Tennessee has to wait till they have 2 outs to score. Perhaps, you know, after they teased us with that run in the first inning, did Carolina. They're just waiting for 7th and 8th innings to roll around. That's when they've done their damage.
Which they did yesterday to Auburn. Scored in the first.
Yeah.
Auburn basically gave it to them, and then they hit the 2-run in the 7th.
I love Beth Smith's words that she talks about their offense. Create your inning. I think a lot of times you're waiting for something. Oh, there's the double. Here's the big hit. No, you can create it. You can battle. You can have a 9-pitch at bat that you get a base hit on.
Yeah, I always love the positivity that comes out of Bev Smith, the things she says, you know, work while you wait, you know, for those that don't have the starting positions. I mean, she's just very positive about getting the team to get what they want.
Fights
Here's
off
another-
the rise ball.
Another long at bat. Just battling. 9th pitch of the at bat here.
That's 2 in a row. Interestingly enough, the bullpen was buzzing with activity for the first 4 innings. Every pitcher on the Tennessee team was out there, and now it's as empty as my Olympic trophy case.
They're medals, Beth.
Olympic case, trophy, medal case,
There you go.
opposite way. And the fly ball caught out there and right by Blankenship. The 2023 SEC Softball Tournament on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Coming in hot to your hometown. Going to show them what we're made of. And here is the game track for Carolina and Tennessee. 3-1 in our SEC championship game. Blampied with the sac fly to open up the scoring. And then the Lady Vols 3 unanswered. Brockenbrough with the 2-run double. And so far so good for starting pitcher Peyton Gottschall. On in relief for Carolina is Donnie Goburn. With her lethal changeup, she has struck out the last 2 she faced in the 4th, and now 6, 7, and 8 coming up here in the 5th. Tennessee wins, it'd be their 3rd, and they would sweep the season, regular season and conference championships. South Carolina seeking their 3rd, and as the 10 seed, they would be the biggest surprise winner in the history of this tournament, 27 years. They won the very first one in 1997, then won again in 2000 under Joyce Compton.
Shorts.
That's what. Was that?
What you got? She was staring,
No shorts and no
scanning
hats. Yeah.
the whole photo, and that's what she came out with.
Yeah.
Shorts.
Shorts.
Those were the days, man.
Yeah.
Those were not good days.
No, lots of scars.
Yeah, my knees have the proof.
Mackenzie Donahue a fly out in the 1st, and then Singleton scored in the 3rd. This part of the order, though, the first time that they are seeing Goburn. And gets another swing and miss. That's 3 strikeouts in a row. Holly?
I was talking with Donnie Goburn before the game, and she said she started pitching at about 12 years old. She was playing travel ball, and she was mostly a shortstop, but then kind of was messing around and started being a pitcher. I said, why did you start pitching? She said, because I was really good at it naturally. And I was like, you are correct. She said her junior college coach finally said, listen, if you want to be good, you've got to really buckle down at this. And so she did. Got to Florida Atlantic. And then when she joined the transfer portal last year looking for kind of a higher level, somebody at one of the former assistant coaches at Florida Atlantic talked to Beth Smith and said, I think you could really help her. Here she is at the highest level in softball, the SEC, pitching in a championship game. And I think back to that 12-year-old little girl who thought she could naturally be good at something, and here she is.
Love it.
I love the mindset, too. That's, I think, one of the best things I love about Donnie Goburn. She's got so much talent. We've showcased all the pitches that she can throw, but she genuinely believes in herself. She knows how good she is, and you can tell by her demeanor on the mound. Honestly, even if she does get that hit up at all, immediately responds with, I got this.
Oh, and she has shined in one of her biggest moments here at the SEC tournament. Oh, and that's what's so exciting about the move now into the NCAA tournament for so many of these programs. Their one chance, their one big moment to come through, like, say, for example, North Carolina Central. Congratulations to Ivory Jones with the walk-off. And Eagles softball wins the MEAC today. Bunt hopped up nicely to Leno. 2 down. Punching tickets nationwide. Like Long Island University, Eastern Illinois, Southern Illinois, Campbell, all joining the party. Here's Brockenbrough. A pair of doubles today. The freshman playing in her first SEC tournament. And batting .500 now here in Fayetteville. What freshman will have a big impact in the NCAA tournament? You look to Texas maybe first and foremost. Didn't they have like half of the Big 12 freshman team this year? Brockenbrough 3 for 3 now on the day.
Brockenbrough is just having a game. But yeah, the freshmen for Texas have just been outstanding. Had a lot of great freshmen all the way around, including this one right here. Yeah, she takes this outside pitch and just gets the hands extended and drives it the opposite way. That is just pretty hitting. That is just, you know, making the barrel catch the ball, not trying to do too much with it. Let that ball travel deep and drive it the opposite way.
That's her career high now with 3 hits today.
Outstanding. So got that on a 0-2 pitch.
Ball. 2-0.
Donnie's worked so hard this year, and I spoke with Bev Smith earlier in the year. She said the one thing that was really hurting her were wild pitches and walks. And she's really, you know, gotten better as the season has gone on, worked to her strengths, which is the swing and miss. Not afraid to throw the ball right down the middle, because that's when she does get the swing and miss.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be careful because of the stuff. When she came in and transferred over, she was even walk to strikeout ratio.
Yep.
New right fielder is Aaliyah White here for South Carolina. Gamecocks have 6 outs to work with. Time running short. Well, and then a miscue on the bases. And that's going to be a double play. So the strikeout of Taylor at the plate, well, that was the 3rd out anyways, right? Yeah.
Goburn using all that velocity, gets the strikeout. But I think there's a little confusion. They're going to get her in here. 4 outs in the inning.
Launched deep, back, and gone! 2-run home run for South Carolina to take the lead in the top of the 7th. Jordan Fabian. Oh, the drama has been unfolding this entire tournament for South Carolina. Late in games, 3 straight 1-run wins happening in the 7th or 8th inning of ball games. If they're going to do it today, it'll be against the Volunteer ace, Ashley Rogers, who comes in as the new pitcher. 6 outs away for the Lady Vols from an SEC championship.
Rogers,
And it's the top of the order, Smitty.
yeah, she was outstanding, Rogers, in their very first game against Florida. The complete game shutout. It's great to see Ashley Rogers back healthy and dealing. Just great spin speed.
Did not check the swing. Jordan today struck out looking in the 1st, flew out to center in the 3rd. What you got for us, Holly?
Well, I loved what Jordan Fabian said after getting that game-winning hit last night. She said, I've really been struggling at the plate, but what I've learned is that every at-bat, every pitch has a life of its own. Don't bring the bad stuff into the box with you and just move forward. I thought that was really good advice from this young hitter.
Yeah, Holly, she did not have a hit prior to that home run. The timely hitting for South Carolina has just been off the charts. I mean, and it's been somebody different every day.
I think it's such a great message, too, for hitters at home. They're like, gosh, I want to hit home runs, or I want to have more power. And Fabian's goal was just to get a base hit and stay inside the ball. And I can't tell you how many home runs have that mentality. The moment you think you want to hit it out, that's when you pop up, that's when you miss.
They're into their 28th inning now of the tournament. They've scored 7 runs on 13 hits. They're 3-0, and they're hanging around again today. And a strikeout here of Fabian, 1 down.
Ashley Rogers showing why she is one of the best strikeout pitchers in the game. She can locate her pitches and she can move her pitches. She's going to be in the mid-60s with a rise ball at the top of the zone. Gets a lot of swing and miss on that. A little bit of a curve on the outer half and on the inner half. And she can also mix those speeds. When you put all of that together, that 55-mile-an-hour changeup with really good velocity on the inner half for this strikeout is the reason why Ashley Rogers is so hard to hit. She will be in every quadrant, mixing lots of velocity and movement.
has not allowed a run in her last 17 innings of work. Picked up a win over South Carolina last weekend. And in fact, in her last 6 starts, Tennessee is 6-0 since her last loss to Baylor back on April 6th.
And the one thing about this Tennessee staff is they're all so good, but in different ways, and they complement each other so well. So Gottschall now to Rogers. I mean, just different pitchers. You know, Rogers has more velocity, a little bit more movement with that rise ball, and the really good changeup.
Changeup's the difference maker. Because I do feel like there are so many similarities between the two of them because of the velocity, and they are up in the zone, a lot of fly ball outs. But when you know in the back of your mind 54, 55 miles an hour is there, it changes.
She picked up the win against Florida in the quarterfinals, a complete game shutout. This is just her 6th relief appearance of the year. With the transfer Gottschall and the freshman Pickens, that has really taken a lot of the innings load off of Rogers. So all 3 arms will be fresh heading into the NCAAs. Not just the physical well-being, but as Holly's been reporting, the mental fitness of Ashley Rogers, where it needs to be as well.
And that's where Rogers is different than Gottschall. She can make that rise ball. She can bring that velocity up in the high 60s, up to at times almost 70 miles an hour. And that's why she gets that extra amount of swing and miss at the top of the zone.
Called strike 3 again. 2 in a row for Rogers.
Ashley Rogers set up pitch at the top of the zone with the rise ball, and then she's going to come to this low outside corner. Really good look at the way that ball's spinning.
Holly? Well, Beth, you're mentioning Ashley Rogers' mental strength and toughness. She actually shared a really important message with her team last weekend. Karen Weekly shared the story of her gathering all of her teammates together in a huddle and bearing her soul to them, telling them that, listen, the first 4 years I've been here, I've been miserable. I've put so much pressure on myself. You know, she's got the perfect 4.0 GPA in kinesiology. She's the best pitcher that they've had in a long time, and that pressure made her a miserable person. She said, I want you to focus on the process. Do the work you need to do, but play with joy, play with your friends, have a spirit of happiness about you, and don't let that pressure define your career. That's a powerful message from Rogers.
Choose the joy of competition.
Yeah. Especially for pitchers, there's the weight of the world on your shoulders at times if you allow it. You've got to just go out there and throw the ball and then say, hey, it's out of my hands. Can't control what happens next.
She's got 10 strikeouts in her 8 innings here in the tournament. 3 of them have been looking. And she has taken chances away from South Carolina. They just have the 4 outs to work with now. And she strikes out the side. Coming on in relief here in the 6th for Ashley Rogers.
Ashley Rogers just using all of her tools, showing why she is one of the best in the business. Underneath the hand, she goes to the outer half, and then the curveball again. Strikes out the side. Ashley Rogers loving it.
It was a 1-1 game into the 3rd inning, and then Tennessee took the lead. And it started with the miscue at short. And then a throwing miscue. And then Jamison Brockenbrough drops one in to right field. A 2-run double to score Donahue and West. And that is where we stand. 3-1. All 3 of the runs, just like every run they've scored in this tournament, scored with 2 outs. And Carolina has just 1 at-bat left in the 7th, and here comes Tennessee in the bottom of the 6th. 1 and then the top, so we'll get another look at All-American Kiki Malloy. She's on deck. This is Katie Taylor.
And this is why I love these matchups, is you get a pitcher that is top of the line like Donnie Gobourne. some of the best stuff in the game, and then you get the best hitter, one of them in this entire tournament, in the entire country, and Kiki Malloy, who's on deck. So you want Katie Taylor almost to get on base just so they have to throw, and then you get to see that matchup. Yeah.
One-two to Taylor. Don't forget Sunday Night Baseball coming your way from Fenway Park tomorrow. It's the Red Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals, Sunday 7 Eastern. And baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown will get you going at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
Doing a Masa Yoshida breakdown. The Red Sox. We talked a lot about hitting placement of these Tennessee hitters. It's so fun to like understand how hitters just change slight positioning of their body, how it makes all the difference.
Kate Taylor, she's been tough. She actually was the game-winning run against Alabama last night. She had that 2-run home run. It was only her 4th home run of the second home run of the year. That was a big shot.
Yeah, she's been a tough out at the bottom of this lineup. And it's important because of who's on deck. A lot of times you talk about who protects after, but it's also who protects before.
Before, who's in front, absolutely. Well, that.
So with the walk, here comes Kiki Malloy. A couple of home runs in the 2 games yesterday.
And you look at the location of these pitches too, and easy power. I mean, look how far that went. And look at the swing. Look at the ease of the swing. Literally, she could be in batting practice hitting off the tee, and the length that she gets and understands that. It's not a max effort swing. It is a beautiful one. You see that split grip that she uses on the bat.
Doubled off of Goburn the last time up. Tennessee has continued its trend. They've gotten a base runner every inning today. They've left 9 on base.
Cool.
Being behind 2-0, now you got to be extra careful. And this is where having Katie Taylor at first base is huge for Tennessee, because otherwise you just walk her.
Yeah, you just continue to pitch around her, not give her anything. And Kiki's disciplined. You know, she knows how to take her walks. That's the other thing that you love about her, is that, you know, as good as her batting average at 420, her on-base percentage even higher at 560, because she knows how to take a walk. Trust the bats behind her. She's got 39 walks on the year.
She has more home runs than 118 Division I teams. Like, just think about that for a second.
Incredible.
Wow.
So here we go, Goburn and Malloy.
Nice pitch.
Three and one.
It's the first time they've gone inside to Kiki. She's off the plate.
Full count.
only spot I've really seen teams get her out is when they can get low and in, but because she's so far off the plate, that pitch ends up being more middle for her. She knows her rare weakness, so that's why she moves off the plate.
Yeah, you have to throw to that inner half when you're ahead. If you have to throw a strike there, you have to put it over the plate. She's going to crush it. You've got to throw it for a ball, so you have to be ahead. So in other words, 1-2, 0-2. You could try to go low and inside off the plate for a ball, because as you said, if you don't adjust the plate, she is going to take that ball yard. And I've always been I think power pitchers, you have to learn to throw to a hitter's strength when you're ahead. You've got to go there because then you can get them to chase. You go there when you're ahead and you can throw a ball.
Was able to hang there with the off speed. This is the third inning of work for Donnie today. And gets the strikeout of Malloy. One down.
I love the setup pitch to get to this. She goes off speed before this and then comes upstairs 65 miles an hour to get the big swing in Kiki Malloy. What an at bat for both players, but Donnie Gobourn gets the win on this one.
And with that pitch right there, Gobourn now goes over 300 for the tournament. And still has not given up a run. Keep in mind too, with South Carolina coming up in the bottom of the seventh, or in the top of the seventh, it was a 2-run home run that won the game for him yesterday. Something similar today could tie it up. And they scored 3 runs in game 3 of the series with Tennessee in the 7th inning to win a game. So they've done it before. They would have their 4, 5, 6 batters due up. Cooney has walked and scored. 0 for 2 today. And here's the 2-2 from Gobourn. Skied out to left. Gonzalez. 2 down.
One of the biggest things that Beth Smith talks about with Donnie Gobourn is the confidence building, you know, coming over and kind of understanding and learning and getting better. She's got a ton of it, but she's also understanding herself. And the home run she gave up to Tennessee during the regular season was against Kiki Malloy. It was with the rise ball. How perfect is the full circle to strike her out on the same pitch, go back to it with that confidence.
This is Boo Gibson. 2 for 2. A double, a single, and a walk today.
Ball, no fault.
Four appearances out of the bullpen in 4 days. 24 strikeouts. No runs allowed.
Which is also pretty incredible because she has issued some walks, so Even when they get on base, they kind of just stay there.
Yep, like this inning.
Exactly.
Taylor stuck at first.
Yeah, well, because of the strikeouts and she induces pop-ups, she gets a lot of non-productive outs. So it's tough for the runners to go anywhere.
Gibson out to center. Blampede has it. Side retired. So we head to the 7th. Last chance for South Carolina. Heart of the order coming up. Fighting for an SEC title. South Carolina Gamecocks. Drama has been here every single day. Late inning heroics after late inning heroics to upset the 7 seed, the 3 seed, the 2 seed. And that was a 2-run shot in the 7th inning yesterday to knock out Auburn when they were down a run by Jordan Fabian. Can they do it one more time? Look at what they've done in the 7th and 8th innings of games. They've scored more than their earlier innings combined. 4, 5, and 6 are coming up against Ashley Rogers, who just struck out the top 3 in the order last inning. These two teams played in the regular season finale series, and South Carolina picked up a win over Tennessee with a 3-run 7th inning. Just gonna toss that out there. Don't forget, tomorrow night, our NCAA selection special, starting at 7 Eastern.
Just got hit hard in the head. Foul ball went right back into her mask.
The 4, 5, and 6 hitters are a combined 0 for 6. Tennessee pitchers have retired 11 of the last 12 they've faced. Just missed it. That close to getting the tying run to the plate. Black, Malloy, and can't get to it, and it'll get by her to the wall. The leadoff is on, and the tying run is coming to the plate.
This is a beautiful pitch, actually, from Ashley Rogers. An even better job of Anaya Black to be able to reach this pitch and poke it in. I thought Kiki Malloy was going to lay out. She thought about it. She went for the reach instead, wanted to make sure. Stayed on her feet as it got to the wall. I could feel inside her head, though, like, I want to lay out. But how about Anaya Black? A great job of hitting there.
Especially behind, that was a 1-2 count. Probably a little too close to the zone for Rogers. Black.
Kai Ricks will come on to run, and Julia Desiderio, who has flown out twice to left field, is the batter. They need 2 to tie it in this SEC Championship showdown. They are the first 10 seed to ever get this far, trying to win their first SEC championship in 23 years. They're batting .220 with bases empty this season. They're a 300 team with runners on and with runners in scoring position.
Do you feel the energy
Wow.
shift?
Yeah.
I mean, you can just feel it. And most teams do the opposite. They get pressure, they get tighter, and in fact, usually the averages go down because those are the moments a lot of hitters can't handle, a lot of teams can't handle. For South Carolina, the rally caps come on, the dancing gets even crazier, and honestly, this is when their best offensive production have been in this tournament.
Send it down to Holly.
I talked to Beth Smith before the game and asked her what her team message was before they got onto the field today. And she said, our motto all season long, one of our credos has been commitment. And they committed at the beginning of this season that they would make it back to the NCAA tournament, and they have. Now on this magical run, she thinks their commitment, each at bat, each pitch, each moment, has got them to this moment right here today.
Well, and I think the other thing, their pitching staff, obviously, with Donnie, has been a big part of their success, but it's been their defense. They've made a couple of defensive errors here at this SEC tournament, but that defense, it's just been a commitment to every aspect of the game getting better, and the offense is coming around and scoring when it finally needs to.
It's that scrappy offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different player every game for them, and they buy in.
Well, and to Holly's point, in the preseason poll, South Carolina was picked to finish dead last. And they are fighting for a championship here, and they are down to just 2 outs. That'll bring up Marissa Gonzalez. Haven't scored many runs, haven't gotten a ton of hits, but they have been clutch. Gonzalez out towards Malloy, and she's got it, 2 down, and now Tennessee is 1 out away from a Southeastern Conference sweep as regular season and tournament champions. It's been a long time for the Lady Vols, 12 years since they last held up a trophy. Jen Cummings, the last chance for Carolina. One and one. Down to their last strike.
Keeps battling on that arm side of the plate. Low outside rise ball.
Cummings keeping hope alive. The tying run here for South Carolina in the top of the 7th. 2 down. Ashley Rogers trying to secure a championship.
They're great at bat, especially with 2 strikes. Since South Carolina does such a good job of being able to be shorter with 2 strikes.
I'm surprised Rogers doesn't go to that changeup. Use it for a setup, go back to the rise ball.
Right back to Rogers, who slams it down into the dirt. the 2023 SEC champions, the Tennessee Volunteers. Valiant effort by the 10 seed South Carolina, but is Tennessee the regular season champs and now the tournament champs as well.
And how it's been for them all season long is a team effort. I mean, the combination of pitchers that they've used, Peyton Gottschall getting the start, Ashley Rogers in coming out to close, and how about their lineup? Yeah, we talked a lot about Kiki Malloy, but ultimately it was Jamison Brockenbrough in the 8-hole. They got the 2-run RBI. That's the difference of this game.
Boo Gibson, also a really good game. Couple of hits. Wow.
Well, the 10 seed, 3 upset wins to get into the finals. They'd gone farther than any double-digit seed had gone in the nearly 3 decades of this tournament. The performance, a memorable one for Donnie Goburn and her teammates, but it's Tennessee's turn, and it's Tennessee's time. The high-speed play brought to you by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet, and the defense by the pitcher.
Slam it! The ball, the glove.
Came back to hit her on the head. He doesn't care. And celebration time for Tennessee. Kiki Malloy making the run in from center. And the Bruins win it 3-1 your final, and they hoist the hardware. Let's send it down to the field with Holly.
Well, Kiki, you are the leader of this team, the heart and soul, and you told me yesterday, like, we're not satisfied with the regular season championship. Right. Why were you so focused on getting this one too?
I mean, again, this is part of our goal, 2/3 of the goal, but let's go get the national championship.
Tell me what it's going to take, because we're seeing productivity all throughout the lineup, great pitching. What is about this team that will get that done?
Yeah, just staying on the attack from the first pitch. Doesn't matter if it's offense, defense. Yeah, we're just staying on the attack, so.
You guys have something special. You can feel it. What is it?
I mean, dang, we just play for each other. We have a wristband, and it says family, and it's forget about me, I love you. So it's just like this team, it just means like we play for each other. Like you personally are because of the team, you know, so we just play for each other.
Well, thank you so much. Congrats, Kiki.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kiki Malloy and Tennessee are champions of the Southeastern Conference as they win both the regular season and the tournament crown. And you heard her say they're ready to make a run at the Natty, where they will likely tomorrow be unveiled as one of the top seeds in the NCAA tournament. Coming up next, it's Sports Center, and you can watch the full trophy presentation on SEC Plus. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow night. 2 hours of coverage on the Selection Show.